Chapter 3, Strings and String Variables. Well, Sophia, you've learned how to use variables to display numbers. You know the rules for creating variable names, how to use operators to do calculations with variables, and how to display the numbers that the variable holds using the print command.
Yes, to print a variable's value, I just type print and then the variable name in parentheses. But can variables be used only for printing numbers? Can't we print any text?
That's a very good question. Variables are not just used for storing numbers. They can also be used to store text. In programming languages, a text is called a string, as in a string of letters. It's not just letters or words. Anything could be a string, be it a number, a name, an address. In such cases, the variable used to store a string is called a string variable. Remember the first program you wrote?
Of course, I had printed the words, "Hello World."
That's right. The words "Hello World" were actually a string of text. We enclose our text in double or single quotes to tell Python that it's a string. This is done so that it doesn't confuse the word with other Python words like print.
So how do I assign the string "Hello World" to a variable? Do I just type my_variable equals "Hello World"?
Nope, you'll get a syntax error if you do that.
A what error?
A syntax... Why don't you type it out for yourself and see?
Okay, let's see. If I press the return key...
You see, a syntax error message means that you made a mistake in your arrangement of words and symbols in the command. This is how number values differ from strings. String values are always enclosed in double quotes or single quotes. In Python, every instruction must be given according to the syntax or rules, or else Python doesn't understand.
Okay, then let me try using a string variable and printing its value.
Remember, Sophia, if you start the string with a single quote, you should end it with a single quote only. And if you start with a double quote, you can only end with a double quote. So you can't mix up the two types.
Got it. Now, if I press the return key... All right, it worked.
Good job, Sophia. Now, try to print the words, "This is my computer," this time with single quotes.
That's easy. If I press the return key, why is it showing a syntax error now?
This kind of syntax error means that Python was probably expecting something before the line ended. Notice on your instruction, you forgot to put a single quote in the end.
That's right. Sorry, I forgot. I'll make the correction. Actually, I want to change my string. Instead of "this is my computer," I want the variable to hold "this is Sophia's computer."
Why not? Go ahead. But just be warned, your sentence has a single quote in it. Type it out. You'll see why I pointed that out.
Okay, so if I press the return key and...
You see what I was talking about? When Python sees the single quote after Sophia, it just thinks that this is the end of your string. And then, when it sees the rest of the things that come after, it gets confused. So it gives you a syntax error message. The solution to this problem is to use a backslash before each quotation mark that you want to show Python to be part of your string. Let me just correct your code for you. See? Now it gives no error. So if I press the return key, I get there. Now, what if you want to type a whole story about yourself? That would expand to multiple lines, right? This kind of a text is called a multi-line string. If you type this kind of a string, Python will treat the next line that you enter as your next instruction. As an instruction, since your sentence won't make any sense to Python, it will give you an error message. To avoid problems like these, you should start and end a multi-line string with 3 single quotes. Let's say you type out a short essay about yourself and get a variable called myself to hold it. Then print it out.
Okay, here I go. Now I press the return key.
Great! Now, let's move on to the next topic, embedding values into strings. Say you want to display a message that contains the value of another variable. For example, if you have a variable called age, and you want to add its value to the value of another variable called, say, display text, which holds a sentence telling how old Sophia is. In that case, we use a placeholder in the final display text string. This is how it's done. Take a closer look at the second line. What I did there is I added a placeholder, modulus s, to tell Python that this is the place where I'll insert the value of another variable. In the third line, when I put the variable age after the modulus, I'm telling Python to replace modulus s in the display text string with the value of the variable age. Let's run this and see what we get. There you go, you see? Python inserted the value 15 in place of the placeholder modulus s. You can use placeholders to represent both numbers and string values. Now then, Sophia, it's your turn. I want you to add to this code. Calculate how old Sophia will be after 5 years and after 10 years and display it.
Okay, here goes. I'll press the return key. And for the next line, I'll press the return key.
Good job. You can also use more than one placeholder in a string. For example, if you want your earlier code to be reusable for more than one person, then this is what you'll do. This will replace the first placeholder in display text with the value of name and the second placeholder with the value of age. Notice that I used the placeholder modulus s to represent a string as well as a number. Let's run this.
So if I want to print how old Jacob will be after 15 years, I will add to the code. Let's see what we get. You're gonna be really old, Jacob.
Very funny. Okay then, Sophia, question time again. Question. Type out a program that has 3 variables. One that holds your first name, one that holds your surname, and one that holds your age. Now, create a string using placeholders to print your name and your age together in a single message using these 3 variables, such as Jacob Rodriguez is 27 years old.
Here is the answer. And press the return key. Jacob Rodriguez is 22 years old.
Good job. You used placeholders to hold the value of variables first name, surname, and age. So Python saw the print statement and inserted the appropriate variable values one after the other whenever it saw a placeholder in string text. Next question. Write a program to calculate how many hours of homework your friend Piper does in a week. If he does 3 hours of homework every weekday and 2 hours on weekends. Your program should have a variable called name.
Okay, let's see. If Piper does 3 hours of homework each weekday, meaning on 5 days of the week, he would have done 5 times 3 hours of work. On weekends, however, he does 2 hours of homework, so he would have done 2 times 2 hours of homework in the weekend. So, at the end of the week, he would have completed 5 times 3 plus 2 times 2 hours of homework. Let me type out the code. Now, if I press the return key, Piper did her homework for 19 hours.
That's right. Remember, Python always performs multiplication first and then addition. That's why it calculated 2 times weekdays and 2 times weekends before adding up the 2 results. Finally, in the print command, it replaced the first placeholder with the value of name and the second placeholder with the value of hours worked. Last question. Write a code to print the following text. Shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't are things you shouldn't say.
Wow, that's a tough one. But I shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't try to avoid it. Here goes. Now I'll press the return key. I hope it's right. Whew, got it. Shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't are things you shouldn't say. I got all my apostrophes right.
Good job, Sophia. You remembered to correctly put a backslash whenever you had to use a single quote in your string. I suppose you're ready to proceed further.